Hey everybody, welcome back to the Real Heroes channel. You got Cory here with you as always, and in for review today we've got one of my most anticipated 4K releases of the year, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So this one is one that has been released in theaters with a Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos remix, and this is the subsequent home video release for it, and we're going to be reviewing that today. So before we get started, go ahead, click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on those notifications, and share this video with your friends, because I do think it is going to truly be awesome. So to dive right into things, packaging here, you have a nice little slipcover for Scott Pilgrim, same artwork on the actual packaging for the disc. Open her up, you've got the 4K Blu-ray and you've got the standard Blu-ray, and it also comes with a digital slip for a redemption through iTunes, which I believe should also be upscaled to 4K as well. Tech specs wise, this was shot on a combination of both film and digital. It does have shifting aspect ratios. It goes from 239 to 178 to 1. It has a Dolby Vision pass for its HDR, which is fantastic. And the audio was also upmixed for this theatrical re-release and home release that came after it with a Dolby Atmos soundtrack. So I mostly want to talk about the audio on this one, so I'm going to talk about the video really fast and then dive into some of the stuff about the audio that just completely blew me away. So this is one of my favorite movies of the last 10 or 15 years. I have seen it tons of times through different services, whether that's streaming or Blu-ray or on TV or what have you, and this was easily the best I've seen it. Bill Pope's cinematography is just tremendous for this movie. I think it's absolutely great. The ideas that him and Edgar Wright had were just terrific for this film, and they translate beautifully onto this 4K release. Everything is probably sharper than I've ever seen it. The scenes that are shot on film, you can definitely tell they have a very filmic quality to them, a nice layer of grain on top, and just detail everywhere, extremely abundant. Color is a huge part of this movie, whether it's the video game fights or whether it's things like Ramona Flowers' different hair colors. Everything pops off the screen in this. There's a whole lot to look at. Scott's shirt towards the end that's all red and white. It's very vibrant, and the Dolby Vision helps with that tremendously. It really looks great. I didn't see this in theaters because I was not in a movie phase at the time when this came out, so this is easily the best it's looked for me. I was super excited to get it and check it out, and it did not disappoint. So I would say for this one, on the video side of things, it's going to be a solid 8.5 out of 10 for me. Really, really rich. Excited to go back and watch it again and spot out even more details that I didn't know existed in prior watches. So moving on to the audio, I actually wrote down a list because there was a lot of stuff when I was spot checking through this that was really amazing. The first thing, that Universal intro with the 8-bit Mario sounding layover on it sounded awesome. All the little trills were happening back in the surround sound speakers, and all the front soundstage was hitting the Universal music. It just sounded awesome. Little things like when young Neil is playing his little Nintendo in the beginning of the movie, you can hear the little sound effects in the back in the surrounds. Anytime Sex Bob-omb plays music, it thumps. My whole room was shaking, whether it was their first song in the house at the beginning of the movie or all the way towards the end when they're playing at the Battle of the Bands. It just lit up all of my speakers. It was excellent. So anytime one of Ramona's evil exes popped up, they usually have some form of grand entrance, and like in the case of Matthew Patel, he flew through the soundstage, came from the back all the way up into the front, left, center, and right channels, and then as soon as the fight started, everything got engaged. Ridiculous use of the heights. Anytime one of the evil X's is defeated and they fall, big LFE shot, nice subwoofer engagement there, which is great. When Chris Evans' character Lucas Lee shows up, all of his stunt doubles are attacking from different angles. You hear that from all the different speakers all around your room, which is great. And then when Lucas and Scott finally fight and they're running towards each other, and it kind of goes into slow motion, then the audio drops down to just their heartbeats. It really engaged the subwoofers, and it was shaking everything, which was pretty cool. There's a scene where Scott's walking down the street and he hears everybody's voices, whether it's Ramona or the Evil X's or Wallace or the band, a different person's voice comes from a different channel every single time. So it really gives you that sense of immersion, makes you feel like you're really in Scott's head there. Todd's vegan powers, when he first lights him up and his hair goes crazy, lit up the room, which was great. Another fight later in the movie, there's a disco ball that shatters. When the disco ball shatters, the pieces, the shards of it, they start your height channels. They make their way down to your front sound stage, and it really feels like they're falling down into your room, which was amazing. The Battle of the Bands was probably louder than anything else when you got the two DJs on one side and Sex Bomb on the other, and their music creates the little creatures, and they fight with each other. Just overall stellar. It's something where it is a catalog release. It's a movie that's 10 or 11 years old at this point. They didn't have to go to the lengths that they did to make this movie sound the way it does now, but they did, and I'm super happy that they did. So for this one, I'm going to give a 9.2 out of 10 for the audio. It was pretty excellent. It's hard for me to give a 10 to anything, but this one, as a movie that I've seen a whole bunch of times and I know what it sounds like, it was kind of like the veil had been lifted and somebody took two earplugs out of my ears and I was able to hear it for the first time, which was fantastic. So overall, if you are a fan of this movie, I know that a lot of Edgar Wright stuff is subjective, and some people love it, some people hate it, but if you are a fan of this, it is absolutely worth checking out. If you can get it on the disc, get it on the disc, but I do believe that the digital version has also been upgraded to the 4K transfer with the Dolby Atmos soundtrack, so you will not be disappointed either way. And that's enough of me talking. I'd love to hear from you guys now, so drop me a comment below. Let me know if you're a fan of this movie, if you're a fan of Edgar Wright's stuff, and if you've been able to check this out on 4K with that new Atmos soundtrack, and if you enjoyed it as much as I did. As always, you can help support us for free. Just like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and share the videos with your friends. And be on the lookout. We should have a new video tomorrow with a Bad Batch review for episode 11. And then either Friday night or Saturday morning, we'll have our review of Black Widow up, which also comes out. So a lot of super exciting stuff from us. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.